Part 4. The Pathfinder. Korimand Kelter, Candor Bek, Emori Johndottir, and her mother Yvette all awaken from their astral slumber within the socket spire of Chronalia. Yorick's planar stitch was successful, and everyone made it out save for himself. Yorigan, Malmani's apprentice, had betrayed them and left them to die, and was now nowhere to be seen. Malmani had left at some point during their sleep to attend to official business, and had returned to find both Yorigan and Yorick missing.
Confused and furious, the party turned to Malmani for answers. Bek drew his sword, which ignites in flame, and he holds it aloft at the pale wizard.
Where is he?
Who?
Yorigan. Shit, Yorick too. Fuck.
He looks to the two empty beds, and he turns to the guards. Go to my apprentice's chambers immediately. Search them. Find him.
Searching Yorigan's quarters, Korimand discovered a secret alcove or closet, cleverly hidden behind a bookcase.
Inside they found a journal, as well as many pages and documents pertaining to the creation of a golem-like creature with a fleshy body and long, bladed legs.
No. No, it couldn't be.
What?
It's the fucking stilt monsters.
The stilt
The
monster?
fucking stilt monsters again. Your buddy's got a lot to answer for with these fucking stilt monsters.
Did you know about this?
You've come across this brand of golem before.
It's made of people.
They kill people, stitch them together, make stilt monsters, then the stilt monsters kill people, and now, new stilt monster.
I'm sorry, and where did you see this?
The
Back in-
Malmani cult in Fiore.
In Fiore, the one's named after you.
Malmani provided the party with Yorigan's journal of notes, and told them Yorigan had asked him to aid in the designs of a clay golem, not one of flesh. The prototype they made together appears to have been stolen. The party spends nearly a month in Chronalia, earning their keep and investigating clues about Yorigan's time in the city, all the while preparing for an eventual departure to return home. On their last night in the city, however, multiple members of the party were visited.
All around you is a roiling clouds of orange dust.
It's like oranges.
You hear a voice echoing around you.
Fear not, young gnome, for I am a shard of divinity, a subject of the lady.
And before you, you see a form hovering above the ground, and two large wings seemingly made of this orange roiling wind.
I am Carubiel.
That's what I said.
I come to you now with a pact in need of completion.
A pact, you say?
Well, your companion Yorick had decided to undertake a task for me in exchange for knowledge. I gave the knowledge, and he has since become incapable of completing this task.
So I'm inheriting his magic debt?
In giving you his spellbook, the task is passed to you.
Ah, bugger.
And says, this is the spell in need of deciphering.
Okay. And you can't decipher it?
This was a task I had hoped for Yorick himself to complete.
Because you can't do it?
From my side, it would be useless, I'm afraid. Yorick was seeking the knowledge with which to return his friends to his home plane.
Oh, so if I finish this, then I can bring Ella's and Yorick back.
You could, yes.
Cool. Or anyone else I knew who died.
I believe I'll be waking you up now.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're done talking then. It was good seeing you, and tell Yorick I said hi if you see him before I do.
Yes.
That's all he says.
So do I, close my eyes, or how does...
The sphere of, safety collapses around you as wind rushes your ears. You suddenly open your eyes and sit up and gasp. The wind buffeting you is gone, though you can hear a slight breeze. You look, you can see that the window is open and the curtains are wafting.
I knew the
gently.
window was open.
Moonlight is gently spilling inside, and you could see a glint of something silver hanging over Emori's chest. And by the time your eyes focus and you realize there's a dark figure sitting astride her, the knife has already begun plunging downwards towards her chest.
Emori!
A tense battle with the assassin ensued, with the party scrambling to reach Emori's room before the killer finished the job. The assassin utilized invisibility, surprise tactics, and deadly poisons. Just when the party finally gained the upper hand and knocked the assassin unconscious for questioning, Bek began acting very strangely.
Beck sort of goes slate-faced, leaves Dread Marshal's stance, and just drives his sword straight down.
Yep.
He's dying 3 now. And then one last attempt.
Candor Bek, what the fuck are you doing?
Misses.
Misses. Okay. I like the flavor that the misses are from people trying to stop you. So anyone who's like hunched over the assassin at this point is like throwing their arms out, also trying not to touch the flaming blade of temperance, but still trying to put up some resistance.
I see that Beck is trying to like stab through the assassin, and I crawl on top of the assassin.
Throw your body over him.
Throw my body over him. So if he and I'm like, Beck, we need him.
Here, take the potion. Give him the potion.
You still have 2 actions.
I grab the potion.
Reaching my stubby arms through the legs of all the people who are crowding around him.
There's a fire, flaming blade. And you're
Wait, is this potion for me?
No, it's for him. We need to question him. And Bick's not trying to kill you currently. You wouldn't kill Emori, would you, Bick?
Emotionless, no response.
I look at Beck, and I look at the assassin, and I look at myself, and I pour the potion in the assassin's mouth.
The fight took a turn, as now the objective became preventing Candor from killing the assassin or harming his friends in the attempt. In the struggle, Beck was eventually knocked unconscious as well. However, Emori succumbed to her wounds, and the assassin's poison coursing through her veins. With Beck's healing currently off the table, Korimand took it upon himself to try to fix it, as Herschel calmed the other patrons of the tavern. But when first aid and potions failed, Korimand quickly became desperate. He frantically searched through Yorick's spellbook for the ritual Kerubiel had showed them, and the spell that was now Korimand's responsibility to translate. And I need you to make a crafting check now.
That would be a natural 20 for a total of 34.
Blood itself is being pulled through the fabric of your skin, brought to the surface, and it begins to seep down onto pieces of the spell that you kind of filled in them yourself, and it glows with a fiery orange light. You hear the roaring of wind as it sort of swirls and creates an opening in the floor that falls away beneath you as like planks are sucked down as if by a tornado. And you sort of step back. You see 2 orange wings open up and enter the room. As a figure lifts, you see the familiar hooded, masked face of Kerubiel as it enters this place and looms over the scene.
I did your bloody dirty work. Now give me back my friend.
He says, I am beyond impressed. I did not think you would accomplish this soon.
I wasn't going to try it this soon, but you've kind of forced my hand.
He says, he looks at Emori and Beck, who are on the ground.
You want her back.
And he points to Emori.
Yes?
And he cocks his head over her. He scoops his hand and curls his finger through the air, and you see a silver cord suddenly appear as if attached to Emori's sternum. She kind of like arches her back as he lifts it, and he tugs slightly.
This can be arranged.
And he seemingly plunges his hand into her chest. And he just seems to be manipulating his hand on the inside, and you're unsure as to what is happening.
Gotta collect every piece.
We're gonna cut away from here. Emori, a sudden loud bang makes you almost realize you're in a state akin to sleep, but you can, with enough will, open your eyes, and you do so to see an endless expanse of darkness with falling rose petals.
But you see 2 figures moving through a door that is swinging back shut off of its own force.
You see Alice, and you see Yorick.
There she is.
Emori!
Hello.
This is a dream, 100%.
Unfortunately, it's not.
No. Emori, you're dead. Sorry. Hello. It's Yorick and Alice.
Hello.
Alice, are you okay?
I'm better recently.
Good. Yorick?
Hello.
Are you dead, or
No.
are you just hanging out?
He's sort of in between planes.
I'm just taking a bit of I just need a trip. I need to find out what I am. There's lots of things happening.
You're important enough to get assassinated now.
I guess so.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I've made enemies, apparently.
Huh. Who would have thought?
Duh.
Whoever's left back there is going to be able to get the Malmani, and he's going to have a really easy time resurrecting you. It'll be a piece of cake. I would like this to be a lot more straightforward and linear, and I'm really not getting there. Yorick's going to take out a set of tattoo needles and take the ink of Emori's death, dip them in there, and start getting to work.
It tickles.
What?
It's about this time that y'all hear, and as you feel on one side of the door,
All right, using more hands now.
Who is it?
you hear.
I saw it.
Come in.
No,
Nope.
Oh, wait, what?
You hear muffled through the other side of the door after you speak Yorick.
Is that the deserter I hear?
Oh, you fucking bastard!
Who is there?
Shit. There's a prophecy.
Prophecy?
Alice starts like banging on his forehead. I was miming it in real life.
I think we could hear it.
We could hear the thuds.
That's
Nice.
cool.
Fully worked.
Oh, there's a lot of pressure on this door.
You're just gonna run up there and hold it shut.
Oh God, it's
Don't
Back
come
on the
in.
other side.
the sky's burning. There's 3 people.
Burning.
It's blue on fire. And then there's a lot of colors. It's blue, green, violet. Those 3. You gotta kneel, and then Fiore like explodes.
Fiore explodes?
What?
And there's like 3 people there.
Only 3?
I don't know. It's prophecies, man. I don't even remember where I got this.
How did you know this in your brain?
You get the terrible taste of tang in your mouth as Karubiel drifts into the room. This is your first time seeing him.
Holy shit, what the fuck are you?
And he looks down. And
Oh my god.
says, "An angel from on high." And he plunges his hand into your chest. And with his free hand, he gives a jaunty little wave. His wings flap and clap almost around Emori as he's thrust backwards through the door, which slams shut. Korimand, you watched Karubiel with his hand inside of Emori's chest, manipulating. You see her twitch and shudder every now and again, and it's several minutes as he seems to be doing this. And then he pulls with some great force something into place inside of Emori's chest until he resumes his position with his hand firmly tucked inside, and then he seems to let go. Tattoos seemingly begin to manifest as if shadow pulls from their surroundings onto Emori's arms. You come to, and as you open your eyes, you see the golden masked face of Karubiel in front of you.
Punch him.
You bring your fist up and you hear like a gong sound as it touches the cold metal of his mask, and he does not budge.
Holy shit.
He goes,
Scare me. Fuck it. Oh my god.
One piece.
and he turns to you, Korimand. He says,
We're square.
flaps his wings and says,
Pleasure doing business. Give me a call.
With Emori back in the land of the living, the party turned to Bek for answers.
What?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you understand anything that has been going on?
You killed her.
What?
Well, I guess not directly. You were trying to hardcore K-word the assassin so badly that you were fighting Emori.
What? No.
Yes.
Korimand called out so we could question them, and you kind of,
Blank face.
No, that doesn't.
It happened.
It happened.
What?
What's your earring for?
It's just an earring.
I think
think-
Yorick said it was magic.
Yeah, but I've never. He said something about receiving messages. That's never happened before.
Are we sure that you weren't receiving messages just now and you were,
No, my earring's just an earring. I don't know.
Can I take it?
No, it's mine. It's.
I don't like this.
I don't like it either.
Beck, you feel like a pounding that seems to ring in your ears as this headache is sort of setting on, until it almost feels like a rhythmic sort of tense breathing. It speaks to you in common, and it says,
Well, I suppose it wouldn't be the worst thing.
What?
I said
Just take the
we could
earring?
get you another one.
Who's.
Let them take it. It's fine.
Okay.
The mysterious earring removed and broken, the party were soon approached and questioned by Malmani and the guards. After hearing their story, he agreed to use his magic to read portions of both Bek and the assassins' minds. Upon scanning Bek, he found a deep planted seed of divine magic that he claimed was too powerful to remove or properly identify, that all signs pointed to it being some kind of blessing of miraculous power. The assassin was revealed to not only be missing a tongue, but he bore tattoos reminiscent of the people's court. Recent memories showed Malmani the familiar visage of Yorrigan, hidden behind a black mask but unmistakable nonetheless, paying the assassin somewhere outside the city. Emergence Squadron decided to spend the night in the Socket Spire under the watch of the guards, while Bek was moved into a prison cell for his own safety, praying to Eludis for guidance over the black candle gifted to him by Carubiel. With Bek's condition taking precedent, Captain Emori decided their homecoming could wait and began making their way to Bek's home city of Azatu. Being the city of enchantment, he had no doubt there would be a specialist who could cure his strange condition. Only a few days out, Mrs. Elephant began experiencing some difficulties. They pulled over while Herschel checked the engine near the banks of a frozen lake and the tree line of a thicket of woods.
We can make camp now. How's that sound? By the creepy lake.
Sure.
The creepy cool lake, and then once we have camp, we can go fuck around on the ice for a little bit. That doesn't sound dangerous at all.
I forgot my skates.
I'm staying off the ice.
You're staying off the ice?
I'm gonna stay with the fire.
What if you sit on my shoulders?
No,
You will
I'm
be
going
off
to
ice.
No.
Okay, I guess you'll have to leave me alone with Bek. Eh, Bek?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be joke, I'm sorry. The intention is too high.
I'm not threatened by Big.
That's,
He tried to kill
you missed the
He
joke.
tried to stab through you.
I thought the joke was funny, so apparently it's sore joke. I'm gonna go stand over there and be normal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some wood.
While everyone set up camp, Emori and Bek coincidentally walked the same direction to gather firewood, having a heart-to-heart. Emori understood that Bek did not act of his own will, and Bek understood that Emori will protect herself fully going forward, even if it means keeping Bek at a distance. When they rejoined the others and made camp, Emori became lost in her thoughts about ice fishing, and noticed something odd.
You look back out over the lake to try and figure out which spot would be best for cracking a hole in with your hammer. The tendrils of fog over the lake's icy surface seem to be obfuscating something. There's a large mass, almost smack in the center. It's unrecognizable until the fog begins to peel away. You see kobolds. 3 of them.
I hate those little...
Each one blue.
Blue motherfuckers.
Oh.
Together they seem to be dragging a burlap sack, which appears to be stained with a sickening maroon at the bottom. Whatever's inside, it's leaving a trail across the ice as they drag it. But you notice something behind them. A body, dead and decaying, large and winged, one you've seen before as you're the ones that slayed it. You can see the corpse of Drakal in the middle of this lake. And stepping out from behind it, you see Tregarlan Levance, with a smile across his half-elven face.
I was talking about you just yesterday!
Oh, God.
You didn't think you could hide from us forever, did you? We looked for you. Stopped by those little towns you'd visited. No one knew where you were, nor did they have any taxes to give, but we managed to scrounge enough to cover their debts.
And he gestures to the kobolds, who open the burlap sack and turn it over, and out comes spilling dozens of hands, severed at the wrist, each limp and coated in blood. He raises his dainty hand, and you see in it some kind of vial full of red liquid. A contribution from the Stormheart herself. And he throws the vial into the air, releases a blast of arcane energy which strikes it. The vial bursts, and you see a spray of red mist descend in a large cloud. And as the cloud descends over the frozen lake, you hear like the pitter-patter of droplets of what you now know and smell to be blood. You swear you can see movement in the pile of severed hands. And you stare, and sure enough, the fingers begin to twitch, palms flexing and nails scratching, and you watch as they stand themselves up on their fingertips. And you hear a much larger sound as the dragon's corpse begins to move. Its wings give an almost reflex-like flap, slapping limply against the frozen lake surface.
Slowly, its legs move. It lifts itself off the ground. Limp eyelids snap open, and bloodshot pale blue orbs set their sights on you. It lets out a bestial, guttural, gargling roar as black Icarus blood spills out betwixt its fangs, and Tregarlan Levance calls out, "One last chance to make Mommy proud," before vanishing into the fog.
Can't believe he called her mommy.
Emergence Squadron hastily gathered their weapons, horrified at the reanimated foes before them, and braced for battle. Herschel faced the swarm of undead hands skittering malevolently across the ice as Yvette and Emori charged the risen Dracol head-on, Bek and Korimand at their flanks. Mother and daughter, they devised a plan to attempt to break the ice beneath the dragon and used whatever time they didn't spend fending off undead to accomplish this goal. The fight turned dire when Dracol reared up with Yvette in his sights, wheezing and retching to unleash what may have once been a blast of lightning breath, but was now a tidal wave of blood, gore, and shrapnel-like remains of shattered bone. Yvette was hit hard, but Bek and Emori hit back even harder.
And Dracol, with one flap of his wings, goes up and lands in front of her like a cat, stopping its prey from escaping.
Attack of opportunity.
Attack of opportunity.
Absolutely, go right ahead.
Want to roll them at the same time?
Yeah! Yeah! Okay, crit, it doesn't move.
Fucking damn.
32 slashing, 12 fire.
28. Also, since my weapon specialty is knocked prone.
God
Oh
damn.
my god.
You saw it rear up on its hind legs to like flap its wings, and both you and Beck at the same time went for the feet still on the ice. You stabbed Temperance through it into the ice, and you slam down on its other foot and just pin it to the ground, and you watch as it crumbles, slams back onto the ice, and you hear spread across.
Oh.
Ooh, spooky.
Dracol, half sinking into the lake, forced to the ground by his enemies, unleashed yet another wave of gore, this time striking Bek as well as the already wounded Yvette. Soaked in blood and bone, Bek stood once more and stepped forward to be her shield.
Yes.
So yeah, Bek's gonna run up and do kind of an anime thing where as he's running up, he like runs to the side of it with his sword out and just sort of like jumps up and decapitates it.
Hell yeah.
And then lands and like whips his sword to the side and it knocks all the gore off and he's yeah.
The next morning, they continued their journey toward Ozatu, and while on the road, Emori, perhaps due to another near-death experience, remembered that Yorick bestowed her a scroll of some kind during her time behind the veil, and shows it to Korimand for deciphering. He worked out through study and Emori's recollection that the scroll is in fact a ritual which might be used to summon Alice. Emergence decided to make an emergency pit stop and attempt to cast the ritual, gathering material components using Yorick's leftover incense and a rolled joint from one of several hidden stashes in Mrs. Elephant. The party gathered in a circle and began.
So you are all passing the blunt around. You inside Mrs. Elephant?
Not in the van.
Herschel,
We have to
thank
drive
you.
in there.
There's too many.
And Yvette's like, oh, you're so lame.
And you can kind of see shapes moving in it as Korimand is beginning to mark the words along the sigils. So you see, almost as if like sound waves passing through the smoke, patterns sort of shift and change as something is struggling to take shape. So I'm going to consider this a crit fail
Yeah.
for the ritual, which means Evan.
Mhm.
It works, but you and Yorick were in the middle of something dangerous.
Bro,
I don't know what that means.
is that Ascension of the Dragons? Bad timing, guys. Honestly, it's love this to you.
I
What's up?
don't understand what. Ghosts are fucking weird. I don't know how that works.
Oh, did you have a message for us, Alice?
No, I mean, I was just,
Oh.
Why'd he give us this fucking sigil then?
I think he just wanted me to hang out and be able to help you guys.
With what?
The party had a pleasant reconnection with their fallen friend, and bid a hasty goodbye as their temporary time in the material plane came to an end, knowing they can use the ritual in future to speak with them, or perhaps get their aid in battle. The party re-embarked in the morning, and finally arrived at the City of Enchantment. Acres of farmland in a valley kept verdant and lush with powerful enchantments, leading to the tallest mountain for miles, through which is an enormous cleft or crevice. Using the talisman Bek possessed, a music box with a bright and tinny melody. Mrs. Elephant passed safely through Ozatu's protections, and the guards at the gate recognized Bek and greeted him warmly.
And you drive past the gates, and all goes dark for a moment as you pass through the cleft in the mountain. There are lanterns and lights drifting through the air high above you. All along the walls of the cavern interior are intricate carvings and windows, suggesting there are buildings inside the walls themselves. Your assumption was that this mountain wasn't big enough to house the city, and you were correct, but you realize the interior of this cave far exceeds the size of the mountain itself. On the tallest plateau at the back of the city is a grand castle with towering spires and intricate detail, with the backdrop of a waterfall that cascades from a source high above that you can't see and descends behind the castle. And everywhere you look, there's color and light, strange devices levitating throughout the cave, providing multicolored lights all around the walls and ceiling. Being the city of enchantment, you can see citizens and buildings and items all with strange effects or auras. Some of them glow and glitter. So you lead them to Platinum Falls, and you start to approach the St. Esteve Ergos Church of Eminence. As you near the building itself, you get an idea of its scale. It's easily larger than the Church of Braldos in Ozatu and far grander than the House of Silence in Feori. It's a massive alabaster cathedral of striking white stone and intricate detail. From inside, you can faintly hear hymns being sung by members of the congregation that carry out into the square. A few guards are posted at the doors as worshippers pass in and out of the church, giving their prayers.
Bek introduced the party to Strayer Satir, an elder tiefling priest of the congregation, who promised to alert Eminelda of Bek's arrival and arrange an appointment. While waiting, Emergence found a place to stay for their night in the city, and Bek returned home to his mother Ophelia. He found her amidst dozens of pastries, and after a heartwarming welcome home, she told him she was trying out a menu for a potential future bakery, and was just in time to taste test. Many pastries later, there came a visitor.
There's a knock at the door. She says, "Oh, speak of the devil." And she turns and looks at you and says, "Bek, you have a visitor?" You peer through and you can see Conroy. This half-elven man, he's got just like swept back hair, very roguishly handsome kind of charm. "Well, if it isn't the prodigal son himself."
Conroy!
He
gets up and just...
clasps your arm and pulls you into a predator hug. "Some birdies around the guard told me that you had come into town. I thought you would have come to see me."
Oh, I'm sorry, I had some business to take care of. I still haven't gotten an audience with Eminelda, but I had to see to that my comrades were taken care of, and I'm sorry, Mom takes precedence over you.
"I suppose. Family comes first, I suppose." And he sort of rolls his eyes.
I think I'd hate him.
He says, "It truly is wonderful. You've been to so many far-off places. I admit, I've been outside the city much myself, but only in the surrounding region, slaying monsters, defending the innocent, of all that. But,
Noble.
I have never quite had the chance to go out and see these far-flung places. I'd quite like to see them someday."
I would love it if you came with us.
"Oh, I don't know that my duties to the city could be dismissed for such an amount of time. Although I am curious," and he says something. He continues speaking. It's almost like though you're hanging on every word because he's a dear friend of yours and you haven't seen him in such a long time. Mm-hmm. It's like you space out while he's talking. You see his mouth moving, but it just sounds like muffled against your ears, like they're underwater. And then eventually he says, "Bek, are you listening to me?"
Yes, always. I hung on to every word.
"Well, good. I can only assume so." And he stands up and sort of tosses his cape back over his shoulder and says, "Well, I think I shall take my leave. You'll have to introduce me to this party of yours. If they're half the warrior you are, then you're in safe hands." Nods to your mother and steps out.
I hate him.
Meanwhile, Emori, Herschel, Yvette, and Korimand found a local tavern and began preparing for sleep, with Korimand anxiously making contingencies for another assassination attempt.
"That's fine, but maybe the assassin comes in my window, and then what am I supposed to do about it?"
Herschel,
Nobody's
why
going
would
to
they kill you?
Nobody's gonna fucking assassinate you, Herschel. You're a fucking mechanic. Nobody gives a shit.
I care. I care so much about Herschel.
I mean, nobody who's
Herschel, I
trying
care
to kill
about
him
you.
gives a shit.
I care.
You care about him, but nobody's gonna kill him to get to you. They're just gonna try and kill you.
Don't make
Emori,
this
would you murder
foreshadowing.
me? Herschel goes into his room. Korimand, Yvette, Emori, y'all go into yours. You hear a gentle, like,
fucking hell.
Hello? And I
You
peek
see
around.
2 figures standing there, one tall and one short. The short figure, Nate, I'm going to have you describe your character, what they look like.
Shit. I am a gnome boy.
Oh yeah, I am gnome buddies.
I am quite old. I got crazy fucking like gradient blue-green hair. And there's like a piece of bleaching that like kinda is styled like a zigzag, like a thunderbolt. I got a lot of just random shit. I'm wearing scale mail. I got a rapier, and
Are you just like fully armed, knocking on her?
I have my
I mean,
shit on me.
you guys
I
got
have so much other shit that is not weapons and such, but I've got so many doodads. I'm the doodad boy.
And with this gnome, you can see a woman
In the colors of the People's Court, you can see deep maroons and purples and greens.
Her jester garb is styled like a coat and tails, similar to like a butler. She has an outwardly effeminate appearance, hence the pronouns, and her mask is a porcelain rendering of a woman's face with pursed red lips, rosy cheeks, and swirling paint around the eye holes. And the back of the mask is decked with blue feathers, where her hair would be.
Hi!
She says, "Hello."
How's it going? Oh, I actually was going to try and contact you guys. Did you try and kill me?
What?
Oh, probably not. Come in.
The People's Court representative introduced herself as Bluebird, a recent arrival who had only just begun her work in Azatu, and introduced her companion as Ranpram Sneedbar. According to her dossier, Ranpram's studies and skills could be of great use to the party. As well as this, she claimed the city reeks of corruption. It's only that she'd yet to gather enough evidence for the court to formally intervene, which is where rogue agents like Ranpram and Emergence themselves come in handy. Drinks and conversation carried on into the night as Bek rested in his old bedroom across the city when his door is gently rapped on and opened by his mother, informing him of another visitor. Strayer Satir awaited on the threshold and told Candor that the Archbishop was ready to aid him as best she could, and to make haste to the Church of Eminence. Bek decided this was something for which he would like the support of his new friends. So he told Strayer he'd meet up at the church after grabbing the rest of Emergence. Strayer begrudgingly agreed. After a pseudo walk of shame, Bek doing what he could to alleviate some of the party's drunkenness, Emergence arrives at the Church of Eminence. Inside, Strayer guides them downward to a central, large channeling chamber, built like a tower that runs through all levels of the building. Eminilda was here waiting for them, and Korimand took special notice of the staff the Archbishop carried. A symbol of her power, perhaps, or an arcane focus, it was made of polished black metal as dark as night. No etchings or engravings. It stood just taller than Eminilda, and at its apex were 4 curved claws of the same black metal, encasing a glowing golden gem in its tip. Eminilda, after some consideration, believed it best to begin with a ritual that would help her better understand the shape of this curse or affliction, and the party agreed, kneeling as she began the preparations.
Bek, Eminilda has you sit in the center, and everyone else sit around you, basically. As she's finishing up the casting of this ritual, she says to each of you, between muttering things in a divine language, "Try to focus on what it looked like when your friend turned. Your worry about such a thing, this will help us find the shape of it." So you all close your eyes and begin to focus. You can feel the heat of the candles around you. You can see their light grow brighter on the backs of your eyelids, almost as if they're flaring. You hear the rustling of paper, you hear the sound of fire, and you hear the sound of Eminilda's metal staff tapping the ground. And all 3 of you are beset by visions. Bek, I'll get to you in a second.
Oh, yeah.
So Pram, Korimand, Emori, you immediately shudder. You grip your knees, those of you that are sitting crisscross, and you close your eyes, and you feel like you couldn't open them if you tried. You're not even concerned about opening them right now because you're being assaulted by just flashes of light and swirling color until eventually you just see a single pinprick amongst a void of darkness. This glowing golden ember in a sea of black. And as you're staring at it, it's flickering and flashing the way a candle does before it goes out.
You're watching long enough to see that, like, it's snuffed out. There's, like, a thin trail of gray, like smoke, that almost rushes at you and grows larger and larger and becomes some kind of shape that opens its mouth wide and threatens to swallow all three of you until eventually you open your eyes. Bek, you focus on the shape of the effect in your mind. You've heard it described like a seed, like it has roots just sort of spread throughout. Strayer said he wasn't even sure if they should get rid of it because he thought perhaps this was a representation of Eludis's blessing. And so you sort of have that in your mind. And as you focus on that, and you see it before you, it takes shape into a humanoid form. Broad, about your height, and then you notice it is your silhouette starting to take form. You can just barely make out the faintest contours of facial features to recognize it to be yourself, and as you sort of recognize this, it flexes its shoulders, and two pearly white wings extend from behind its back, and it stares at you, and it takes steps forward, and it touches your forehead, and you throw your eyes open, and any that are looking at Bek after you've all come to, this is about the same time, he has the black ichor running down from his eyes, which have become just dark orbs. You can see his wings have extended just these like thin black lines of goo and shadow. And Bek, you begin to scream, and you feel almost like your heart is getting ripped out of your chest. And he just begins to shudder and shake, and as he does, you see a dark silhouette that is trailing behind, like it's trying to separate itself from him. Arms and shoulders pull themselves free from Bek's form and press down on him as he's levitating midair and sort of use him to pull themselves the rest of the way out of your body. This does not look like the vision you just saw. You look up, and this does not look like your silhouette. This does not look like an angel with pearlescent wings. He does have black Icarus wings akin to yours, but these ones seem almost like fully formed, more developed. It looks down at you, and it has these sort of misty, pale white eyes.
What are you?
It says in Celestial, "I'm sorry, cousin." And it lifts a flaming bastard sword and strikes at you. We're going to roll for initiative.
Holy shit.
A shadowy, dark angel separates itself from Bek and towers over them, launching into its mournful attack. Bek seemed to be its primary focus, but as Emori attempted to intervene with Korimand and Pram doing what they could to create openings for attack, stray blows of flaming steel would send them reeling or tumbling to the ground. Bek, feeling as though he's endangered his new friends once more, closed his eyes with temperance in hand and called to Eludis to guide his blade, striking down his inner demons. His prayers, however, went unanswered. Together, Korimand and Ranpram discovered that the angel itself had somehow been corrupted and desecrated. Those that could spare a moment's glance would see Emanilda standing by, simply observing. Bek released another prayer to Eludis, begging for guidance, but his only reply was the dark angel, saying, "She can't hear you." When the corrupted Celestial seemed on the ropes, it rose suddenly with a great flap of its shadowy wings before descending and slamming into the floor, which cracked and crumbled, sending the party tumbling to the floor beneath. The angel landed gently over them as Emergence tried to scramble to their feet. Pieces of stone just are landing all around you. Bek, you have a few pieces land on you. Bek, you're prone. This would be his second attack, so that's a 29 to hit you.
Crit. So yeah. Daddy.
You take 52 points of damage total.
So as this drives through Bek's chest, the last thing he says before he falls unconscious, "Eludis, why?"
And you can see Emanilda look down. She's still up there. She never fell. In fact, you see there's no stone beneath her, and yet she walks as if there's things there. And she says, "Oh, I thought he'd put up more of a fight. Finish them. And she just starts walking out of the chamber, basically.
That bitch!
And
What a fucking cunt!
The fight raged, and Emori was left bleeding and burning, only conscious due to adrenaline, but they bought Korimand enough time to produce a lesser healing potion and feed it to Bek. He awoke once more and gathered all the strength he had left.
Bek stands up, holding his wound, lifts up Temperance, shuffles over. Garubiel, grant me the strength to purge this demon!
You just hear cackling grow louder and louder. Bek's prayer to Garubiel was answered by a vision, or a visit, just before he would know if his strike would be true.
As if swinging the sword through syrup, eventually you pull your grip away and the sword is free floating in the air after great resistance, frozen in time. All around you, your friends, the corrupted angel, the falling debris from the floor above is stuck and unmoving.
You only have a moment to realize you're the only one free to move. And before that, you hear the flapping of wings.
And you turn to see Garubiel drifting before you.
Where once was tattered and sand-stained rags, he now wears ornate, burnt orange robes with golden trim. His lanky and elongated form looms over you, and his mask seems to have a new polish to it. Before, it was a simple caricature of a neutral, androgynous face, much like the mask of the Lady Most Kind. But now he wears a smooth, reflective golden helmet. No hood, no visor, no eye holes, no details of any kind. It's fully enclosed beneath his jawline and all the way around the back of his head.
Very Digimon.
Very Digimon, yeah. His hands and feet were once bound by dirty bandages, but now you see ornate golden armor matching his mask. And he tilts his head in your direction and opens his arms wide, and he says, "So you're looking for a deal?"
You listened.
I must say, I was expecting the new guy to be the one who sends me a call next, but I suppose the melodrama was too much for you to resist.
I need to get back to the fight. I need to finish it.
Oh, it's all right. I've given you a moment to breathe, so to speak. You see, the thing was, you're not so sure you can finish it, are you? That's why I'm here.
No.
That's why my name was in your mouth.
Yes, I'm certain I can't, and I need to protect them.
So, you want to save your friends. You're asking me to interfere in your death. I know since you can't feel it right now, you might not have remembered, but you're actively on fire. You're asking me to take 5 souls from the Lady Most Kind. What is it that makes you think your group is still worthy of my attention?
I don't. I just... It's my duty to protect everyone I can. And to do that, I must go to whatever lengths I must.
Well, I'm in the material plane now, Candor, and I'm a material girl. A man of your talents, I could use that. This is, the first extraplanar entity you've killed, but all things considered, you didn't do too bad. You just need a push in the right direction. It's no fault of your own that this happened. Mama Candlewick upstairs didn't answer the calls, so I'm here to clean up the mess. I'll save you and your friends from this guy.
And he points at the corrupted angel. You can see his face is still contorted with sorrow and fury.
Thank you.
Do you one better. Emenelda is the source of your problems, and her staff is the source of her power.
Oh, she was just standing there, wasn't she? Is she why I turned on Emergence?
She's the root of it, yes.
Has everything that I've known been a lie?
I'm offering you a way out, and perhaps you can snag some answers along the way.
Thank you. You're a lifesaver.
Both Emenilda and the staff are downstairs. Far down as you can go. Also, your way out. If you can get the staff, hold it in your hands, and say my name. Do this for me, and I'll give you a blessing to even further help your friends.
I'll do my best.
And as for what you owe me, I'll call you when I need you.
Yeah, of course.
He snaps his fingers, and his hand ignites in flame, and he holds it out to you.
Firmly grasped.
The fire spreads up your forearm. It feels warm and tingly.
Whenever you're ready, and he points at Temperance, which is still like mid-swing. Finish it.
And Beck reaches forward and like grabs the sword and just merges into his body and line up his blade and shove it through his heart. Be gone.
He looks up at you and says, I still hear it. Her last scream, like breaking glass. And then he dissipates. He just becomes a silhouette of himself and then just seems to
Collapse inward.
With Beck feeling renewed, he helped the rest of the party to recover, using his newfound blessings to heal their wounds, and he explained what happened. The rest of the party was quick to express their displeasure, but more pressing matters came to mind, and the discussion was tabled for when they were somewhere safe. Beck led the party down the staircase Korubiel had revealed, and when it ended, they entered a kind of subterranean facility. Long, gray stone hallways with arcane lights and unmarked doors sparsely throughout. One by one, they checked the doors, testing handles and peering through small glass windows. They discovered a large central room from which they could see members of the city guard, new recruits and tenured members sparring, all overseen by a captain that the party recognized as the guard who met them at the front gates, the one who recognized Beck. They turned away to follow Korubiel's only direction of down as far as you can go. Another large room, this one full of strange, archaic-looking pylons or pillars, fixed into the floor and dotted with glowing gemstones. After brief hesitation, the party determined this was another mystery for another time, before descending more steps, picking another lock, and opening a door into the lower floors. Just in time to witness Strayer Satir exiting a chamber down the hall and rounding a corner. They tailed him, watching him enter a different room and lock the door behind. After a few minutes, they peered through the small window to see some kind of rest or break room with no one inside. The locked door and the tiefling's disappearance were no match for Emergence's gnomish sleuth, however, as Korimand quickly gained entry and deduced that the entire room seemed to be just for show. With some investigation, they find that the outer rim of the coffee table can turn to form arcane runes that glow with magic. The table lifted out of the ground, revealing a spiral staircase leading even deeper into the catacombs. A dark, damp space with skeletons worked decoratively into the stonework. When the staircase ended, they moved through a tunnel and reached the entrance to a large diamond-shaped chamber with a high domed ceiling. The floor seemed to rise in steps towards some kind of altar in the center. An altar like a small, blocky pyramid of black stone. Set within the center and rising above it was Emenelda's staff, the once luminous golden gem now somehow muted as pulses of light flowed downward from the gem through the staff and into the black altar below. At this sight, Pram seemed to recognize it. A dusty memory from a century ago, of a ruin that contained an altar and a metal staff, of an explosion. Beck confessed to the party that Korubiel said they would need the staff, and that should be their plan. The rest of the party thought perhaps destroying it would be best, potentially thwarting Emenelda and Korubiel both at once. With little other choice, Beck and Emori strode into the chamber to draw their attention, as Ranpram crept unseen to try to reach the staff first. Emenelda was confused by the strange new magic Beck seemed to wield, but spotted Ranpram some 15 feet from the altar, and they both burst into a sprint for the staff, with the Archbishop reaching it first. Her once priestly and stoic demeanor twisted into a face of rage and mania as she shrieked one word, "Thieves!" unleashing a shockwave from her mouth and throwing Beck and Ranpram across the chamber. She set her gaze on Candor, wrenching the staff from the altar, and the party entered the fray once more. Emenelda released necrotic energy, animating the skeletons within the very walls to free themselves from the stone and come to her aid. Shimmering golden light seemed to materialize around her, shielding her from their attacks, only a scant few powerful or precision blows breaking through. Ranpram turned a keen eye to Emenelda, flanking her with Beck and searching for weaknesses or vulnerabilities. Perhaps it was due to the darkness of her magic or the fury on her once serene face. But Pram determined Emenilda has lied about more than her motivations, sensing that perhaps this human woman was a facade, hiding something much more sinister in nature beneath. Emori and Bek, at every opportunity they could find, were taking wild swipes with a free hand for the black staff in Emenilda's grip, brushing it with their fingers as the malevolent priestess catches on to their desperation. As the fight continued, Strayer appeared as if from invisibility, attempting to dispel the magic on Bek and Emori's weapons to no effect. The party were quick to punish his vulnerability, as was his master. Emenilda turned to Bek, draconic words on the tip of her tongue.
Bek, she locks eyes with you, and she looks like over Emori's shoulder, basically, and just stares straight at you with an intensity that you don't remember seeing from her, but is a familiar gaze all the same. And she barks out words in a language that Pram and Korimand recognize from years of study, but Bek, you recognize this language despite yourself. Its translation comes unbidden to your mind as you hear the words, "Fox in a hen house."
Bek's wings just sort of dissipate and like drop to the ground in sand that just evaporates. And the glowing in his eyes disappears, and the ichor dripping down his cheeks fades as he deadpan turns to Herschel.
You alright, buddy?
Much force as he possibly can in one strike. 11 slashing, 6 fire.
Yeah, you just strike across his chest. He's and stumbles backwards, almost drops his weapon. He goes, "Oh no!"
And then he's gonna plunge his sword forward, trying to ram him through.
That hits. He's just trying desperately to get his quarterstaff in the way of temperance, but it's not working.
17 slashing, 2 fire.
Bek was in Emenilda's thrall once more, but with Kerubiel's presence in his mind, Candor found he possessed a wellspring of will to shut out the draconic words and regained control. Emenilda teleported across the chamber once more, pointing her staff at Strayer's body, seeming to summon forth a twisted and demonic spirit from his fresh corpse, which dove toward Yvette and phased through her, or into her. She stumbled and opened her eyes, red with an infernal possession. The mighty Centurion leveled her hammer at Ranpram, as within herself she battled this demonic spirit. Korimand, fending off swarms of cobble-boned skeletons, felt Yorick's spellbook in his coat pocket, seeming to grow hot and vibrate. Desperate for Yorick's help and fearing for his friends, Korimand brandished the tome like a holy symbol, open pages facing Bek. Written upon them in Yorick's spidery handwriting were the words, "Break it," with an exclamation point. Emenilda cursed to herself and began looking for escape, as her shield of enchanted minions became less and less by the moment. Candor joined Emori in rushing the fleeing archbishop, with Emori dropping both her hammers to free her hands and grab the staff, but just as she managed to get a fist around it and lock eyes with Emenilda, the priestess shrieked and plunged a bare hand forward, sinking her fingers claw-like into Emori's chest. Emergence's captain fell unconscious, and the staff was back in Emenilda's sole possession, now with the full understanding of the party's knowledge and plan. With the staff held high and desecration in her heart, she just missed glimpsing the gnomish archaeologist hiding close by, preparing a lethal attack.
Oh, hell. Okay, so doing that as an action, schwink,
And then schwink.
and then schwink.
Natural 20!
All right.
Graham is.
Kill the bitch. Kill the bitch.
So that's 44 damage plus whatever you are deciding to do with the holy water.
So that's
74.
Yeah, that's 74 damage.
Jesus, man.
And then as her arm is raised, you get a clean shot right up under her ribs. Stick it up to the crossguard of your sword. How would you like to kill her?
Best not forget about me. And then just, yeah.
She turns to you, and she frowns and sneers so deep her entire body begins to contort. She clutches her face and begins to claw at her skin and hair. You can see loose shreds of flesh tear like paper and fall to the ground as her false form is shed. A twisted and muscle-bound creature with scaled draconic flesh, razor-sharp claws, and horns like spear tips. It stands on 2 legs with a tail flicking back and forth, its face like a bestial humanoid skull.
With Emenelda gone, the party rushed to their captain and administered first aid as Yvette shook off the effects of the fiendish spirit. Korimand flipped through Yorick's buzzing spellbook, while Bek plucked the black metal staff from the ground and reached out to the Angel of Sand.
Speak my name, mean it, with focus and intent.
Korimand, you see a second message, familiar handwriting, that says, "The gem, it's her."
Do we have a gym? Vic, do you know about a gym?
Grubiel, damn it!
You clutch the staff. As you speak his name, you hear a cackle echo through the catacomb chamber, a rush of wind and sand particulate. After his name is spoken, the white ivory begins to blacken as if burning. The golden tip begins to slump and melt away, revealing a deep orange burning flame. Bek, in the blink of an eye, the staff is gone from your hands.
Wasn't that important?
I completed my end of the deal with Grubiel. It saved our lives.
With little time to process, Yvette scooped up her unconscious daughter, and Bek took charge to the exit of the catacombs, with the intent to find his mother and get out of the city. The party exited through a hidden door, leading to the alleys of the Platinum Falls district, and Emergence began sneaking through the shadows to reach Candor's home. The party did their best to explain without giving away too many details, and Bek was still unsure whether his mother or Conroy would go slate-faced and turn on them at any moment. He told them they were all in danger, that they needed to leave the city, and they made a plan to exit separately and reconvene outside to avoid suspicion. Emergence grabbed Mrs. Elephant as Conroy, Bek, and his mother Ophelia stealthily slipped past the front gates. Together, they began driving away from the city, finally able to discuss the events that took place in private.
Something's wrong with me, Emenelda, I think. She made it so that a certain phrase could make me turn on my allies. She brought some creature out from within me and we slayed it, and then she transformed into some horrific fiend.
She could be the lady in the gem.
She could be the lady in the gym. I still haven't.
In the gem? I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
My friend who's not dead but is in the afterlife sent me a message through this magic book telling me that there was a lady in a gym. But I don't know who she is or what the gym is. There wasn't a gym in that Steph, was there? I didn't see one, but it could have been encrusted.
Oh, yeah, there was.
Yeah, there's like a big gem at the top.
Oh,
so.
fuck.
It's
Well,
a big golden gem.
That was probably the gym, and the she is definitely fucking dead then.
Why? What happened?
Or Kerubiel.
The Steph disintegrated.
When she died?
No, it disintegrated when Bick took it and shattered Kerubiel.
I whip and look it back.
Serves under Jal Giltane.
No. No, he does not. He does not. When I died, Yorick and Alice were there, and they seemed very adamant that they were actually very opposed to Kerubiel and the Lady Most Kindness not working at all in tandem with him.
He started a difficult.
Beck.
He helped us.
And now he has a staff.
And now he's got the Steph.
What did you do, Beck?
We made a deal that he would help me kill that thing that came out of me.
At what cost? Or do you now owe him something?
Do you just owe a blanket favor to Kerubiel?
It was that or all of us die.
He does not have good intentions at all, Beck. You are turning to another entity that is going to do exactly what Emenelda did to you, and that is use you.
Reeling from the corruption uncovered, and the implications of Kerubiel getting Emenelda's staff, the party set their sights on Visage, the nearest safe place they could think of, wishing to ask Chipper and Hugo for help. When Bek and Emori found themselves alone on watch, Emergence's captain couldn't help but voice her concerns.
So you want to make small talk?
Sure.
Well, the weather is cold. Mori winces.
Yeah.
So what's your plan?
I don't know. Keeping Mom safe. That's the only thing that matters to me right now.
I'm gonna be blunt with you. I don't trust you anymore.
Why?
I don't know if I could let somebody be in our party when they could be a danger to themselves and to everybody else that I'm supposed to be in charge of. And bringing not only Kerubiel into it, but also having some sort of influence, I feel like you could change at any moment, is quite frankly one of the scariest things that I've ever had to deal with.
So before, when I was wary of it, it was one thing, but now that I've made a deal with a celestial that you don't like, that I didn't know you didn't like, where it's scary again.
I wish it was different, because I do care about you, but I honestly think that when we get to Visage, you should stay there.
All right.
Emergence steered Mrs. Elephant on the outskirts of Indoxa Stormheart's draconic domain to reach the City of Illusion. When the party arrived, Bek took his mother to a friendly face in town that owed him a favor, a merchant and business owner named Tic Tac, who was more than delighted to hire Ophelia as a clerk and provide a warm cot and delicious meals until Bek found somewhere more permanent. Meanwhile, Korimand and Emori drew the contact card for the People's Court and gave it a smooch. Chipper and Hugo appeared with a clattering of trash cans, and the party was quick to begin asking questions.
Gentlemen,
How's it
hey,
going?
answer me a riddle. Why would an assassin be physically harmed if they tried to mention or allude to the People's Court?
Oh, he probably used to be a member.
Why would you assume that he used to be a member?
Well, because we don't want people who were on the outside and able to talk about it.
So you don't have assassins whose tongues you cut out?
Oh, him did that, yeah.
What? Who did what?
Him. He's, him is our,
Him?
patron, so to
Him.
speak. Sorry, Hymn.
Oh,
him.
Son.
Him, yes. Anyway, what do you need? What's up?
We're dropping off
Couple things, yeah. We were supposed to look into corruption, and then we ended up just killing the corruption.
Okay, should we? He, looks over his shoulder and he's like, should we talk somewhere private maybe about
Don't
this?
you have a magic thing where people can't hear us?
Oh, hey, Beck.
Wait, he
Chipper.
can't hear us, can he?
Yeah, I can hear you.
They were just filling me in on a little bit about y'all's escapades in Azatu.
We killed Emerelda.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Also, do you know anything about Kerubiel?
I think we should talk. I think we should talk somewhere else. He reaches into his bag and pulls out some chalk. He draws a chalk.
Gonna take us to the chalk zone.
on the wall. He swings this section of the brick wall that he's just lined out with the chalk open like a doorway, and through it you can just see a faintly green glowing light that just consumes the archway. And he turns and says, "After you guys, we're going to the court."
Stepping through the chalk doorway, Emergence found themselves toppling into a lush courtyard-like space with mossy stone pathways like streets and alleys, all enclosed in wicker braids, wooden latticework, and entwining vines. An extra-planar space of some kind, serving as the HQ for the People's Court, and the dwellings of their mysterious patron, known as Hymn. Chipper and Hugo brought the party to their own humble residence to break down what happened in Azatu. After hearing the full story, he told the party he may be able to aid them in reaching Feori via the newly finished teleportation circle, but it would be beneficial to gain the favor of their patron first. He asked them to wait while they arranged an appointment with him. And while the party was biding their time...
Korimand, have you heard from Yorick yet?
The book starts shaking violently.
Speak of the devil. I flip open the spellbook.
I didn't know that I had to breathe in there.
You can see Yorick's face convex sort of pressing out through the pages.
I fucking knew it!
As if stretched through fabric.
Oh, hello. Hello.
How long have you been able to do this?
New person? Just now.
So the message asking you to elaborate on specifically the last message you sent us. She's in the gym.
Did you shatter it? Did you break it?
Did I break
I
what?
don't know.
The staff.
The gym?
Beck?
The gem, yes.
Oh wait, the gym in the staff. So that is the gym you were talking about.
Right, yes.
Who's she?
I told you about the gem. The staff. Break the staff. She's in the gem.
I didn't see the one that said break the staff.
What?
No.
Okay,
I
where
didn't-
is the staff?
I'm just looking.
I think
Well, funny
Carubio
story.
had it.
What? No. Fuck. This is really bad. That was okay. Sorry. No. So to answer your question, Korimand, that was a ludus
Oh.
in the gem.
What?
Yeah.
You killed a ludus.
Don't laugh about
not
that,
killed,
Korimand.
Sorry.
He's just sort of trapped and probably being like siphoned off of like.
With much bickering and an exchange of a roller coaster of news, Emergence had learned that the material form of Eludis, Bek's deity, had somehow been trapped or transformed into that golden gem, and the staff itself was part of the binding. The fact Korubiel had hold of it was terrible news indeed. They learned that the deities of Erinos, the Imlir, are dependent on and fueled by the belief and faith of their mortal followers. They were once mortal, after all, and without the faith and will of the people behind them, they wouldn't have been able to ascend. Eventually, Chipper and Hugo returned, and Yorick was snapped quickly shut back into the book. The party were taken into a large vaulted room of hanging vines and willow branches over stone-masoned floors, lined with dining tables. An ornate wooden throne sat empty at the end.
My patron, him, the venerable and wise, I present to thee newcomers that would be our ally, seeking aid. I intend to shelter them and deliver them to one of our city representatives. What does my patron think of this?
And there's a moment of silence until you hear the sound of moving fabric, rustling like cape dragging across a forest floor. You see a shape lowering itself from the canopied ceiling. A humanoid whose limbs are so long they disappear into the leaves above, and whose torso hangs limply like a marionette on tangled strings. It wears court jester's garb. Whatever image that brings to your mind, that's what he's wearing. It's in shades of maroon, purple, or green, and the patterns and colors of the outfit seem to shift from moment to moment, blink to blink. Its mask is ancient, depicting a face with a long nose and a thin-lipped smile that turns the eye holes into crescent shapes. Past the cracked and repaired porcelain facade, you see only darkness.
It turns its mask to regard your party, and it speaks in a voice that resonates loudly throughout the chamber.
So, running from the law, eh? You know, I'm banned in a few planes myself.
I don't know why anyone here is surprised.
He says,
You all have made quite the pilgrimage. Dipped your toes in the Astral Sea along the way, and now you're at my doorstep. Nevertheless, it's been quite clear to me after watching you bumble about for the last 200 days or so that you are entirely out of your depth.
I do feel we've reached beyond our scope.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, if half of what Chipper has told me is true, then we're in a heap of trouble. With a guiding hand, you could prove to be quite the force of nature on this continent. I can offer such guidance, I can offer shelter, protection, information. In return, I would demand your secrecy, your skill sets, and your respect at my disposal. As for you...
And you hear, like, stretching fabric as the arm seems to compress on itself and retracts, and it points at you, Beck.
I offer only safe passage for your stay and expedient exit. Your patron is no friend of me or my followers. Your captain has made no such deals with the Angel of Sand, the pink one, has squared his debts. But you're claimed by him, branded in a way that it takes more than eyes to see. I will not abide servants of Korubiel within my domain longer than I must.
I understand.
Eludis.
Oh right, yeah. So the source of power that Korubiel has now is the physical manifestation of Eludis.
Then, we're out of time. I'm afraid I'm no longer offering my aid, I'm forcing it upon you. Korubiel possesses part of the power of a goddess of guidance. The ramifications of this will ripple across the plains. Korubiel and the other idols must be stopped at all costs, and you all will help me. But Candor, I'm afraid, you must leave here and never return. After you've rested, of course, or deposit whatever city your party is going to, perhaps.
I'll just go.
When Emergence were ushered to begin the process of teleportation, Bek and members of the party exchanged a few last words and gifts, with Yorick telling him to literally take a page out of his book so he might contact Candor in the future, and Emori giving him her flamberged dagger she had engraved with his name, saying she forgives him. With that, Bek walked through the chalk-outlined portal back to Visage, and the rest of Emergence were escorted to a teleportation center to make use of a circle. They arrived in Feori in a home they didn't recognize, and were met by a member of the People's Court called Shepherd, who wears a porcelain mask shaped like a sheep with a decorative cotton wool. He was kind and welcoming, but quick to inform the party that as far as the city was concerned, Emergence Squadron and its affiliate members are wanted for a bevy of crimes relating to theft of government property and treasonously disobeying government orders. He recommended they lay low and stick to contacting trusted allies until they can prove the party's innocence by revealing all of their evidence at once, before the guards can shackle and silence them, or place them in a sham of a trial. He also informed them that the shield, the protective dome that has surrounded Feori for over 3 centuries, has been lowered. The government claims it is to preserve hardlight reserves and perform work on the city's sewers. Attempting to process all of this, Emori decided they might be safe if they tried to contact Emori's father, creepy old Joe, or potentially Mr. Atheris, Alice's father. They took their time keeping hidden in alleys and under cloaks, reconnecting with each ally while avoiding patrols of guards and centurions, more than ever before out on the streets. Their friends and family were more than happy to help in any way they could, and Vadim Atheris informed them that for quite some time now, the Telecos Council has been funneling all the material gold in the city into government hands. Any way they could, taxation, fundraising, high interests when you exchange gold into silver, and even higher to exchange to platinum. It is exceedingly rare to find a gold coin on the streets of Feori these days. Any and all questioning had been half avoided, with more talk of updating the sewers and preparing for a larger-scale engagement with the wilderness outside. Mr. Atheris was near certain this was a lie, and broached the idea of Emergence investigating one of these, quote, construction sites beneath the city. They agreed, and the next day managed to sneak into a maintenance access door leading to the sewers below. Korimand's keen eye picked up oddities as they traveled. Many pipes that led to the homes and businesses above should be affixed with various arcanite rings to further purify or alter the temperature of the water. In their place were strange, sloppy, or rushed welding jobs to keep the pipes intact after the arcanite was seemingly removed. While moving with the slope of the mountain, the party began to feel vibrations through the stone floor, growing stronger as they grew closer to a large, circular, vault-like door. As they approached to open it, a voice entered their minds unbidden.
You are not welcome. To continue is to forfeit your life.
Joke's on you. I have no will to live.
The party ignored this warning and began investigating for a way to open or bypass the door before them. To their despair, a biomechanical abomination seemed to appear in the chamber with them. A large construct of organic hardened chitin and machinery, its terrible shell dotted with glowing glass tanks with humanoid brains floating within. It attacked the party, defending the door and whatever lay behind it with galvanized ferocity. Support pillars in the chamber seemed to open, revealing dangerous humanoid automatons that came to the brain crab's aid, blades and firearms built into their design. The fight was terrifying as bullets and magic flew, blades and hammers swinging, the brain crab's terrible pincers snapping, but Emergence rose victorious once more. Though they were severely wounded and exhausted, they didn't have time to rest any longer or risk leaving and losing evidence by the time they returned. In the next chamber, they discovered more automatons, hard at work drilling some kind of groove or channel into the stone, as 2 of the bio-machines heft a bubbling cauldron of some kind of molten metal, which they pour into the finished sections of the channel. Quietly, the party manages to obscure their movements under the sounds of drilling and reach the other side of the chamber to the next door. Through it was a larger humanoid construct, 10 feet tall, that seemed to be dumping the contents of large, strange barrels into a cistern of purified water. Korimand wasted no time and initiated an attack, throwing the party into combat once more. The machines working on construction ceased their work and rushed to the doorway to provide aid. More of these strange automaton enforcers arrive through hidden chambers in the walls, and the massive construct in the cistern levels a firearm like a cannon at Korimand and his friends. Bleeding, bruised, and tired beyond belief, the party split their focus, fending off the hulking machine and keeping the enforcers at bay in the other room, doing what they could to cover each other's backs. They managed to shatter the remaining enforcers and turn their full attention to the dreadnought in the cistern. Emergence threw themselves at the automaton, splintering its chitin-like armor, damaging internal machinery, but not without suffering devastating blows themselves. Both Ranpram and Korimand struck down and unconscious, leaving Emori to struggle and strain and finally destroy the Colossus. She dropped her hammers and rushed to aid her friends. With quick first aid, Emori stabilized Ranpram, and she scrambled to Korimand, searching for open wounds, broken bones, only to find him without a pulse. There were no potions left, no magic to wield to bring him back, no time to run for help. His wounds too severe for his small frame, Korimand spent his final moments trying to vanquish conspiracy and protect his friends.